Hello everyone, and welcome back to Kingdom Hearts Final Mix on the Sony PlayStation 3. I am one wild sheep yet again, and ladies and gentlemen, it's time to take on the rest of the final world. Starting off with this glorious boss fight. This here is pretty much the devil himself, the embodiment of evil. Meet Chernobog, standing right on top of Bald Mountain. Why is it called Bald Mountain? I have no idea. Ask Fantasia for that, because that's the name of the song. But yeah, this is a boss fight that was originally European and American and basically Western exclusive. This boss fight was not in the original Japanese version of Kingdom Hearts. Obviously they added it back in Final Mix for the Japanese, but it's quite an interesting addition, and it is a very fantastic boss fight. You have this glorious music, and I have to be honest, this is one of the hardest bosses in the game. Not the hardest, because we've already beat the hardest, or the hardest normal boss anyway. For this guy, basically you need to make sure you have a lot of fire stuff equipped, or it helps to have a lot of fire stuff equipped, because a lot of his attacks involve fire. He's going to shoot off fireballs, he's going to breathe fire, and it can be a bit of a pain to deal with. Now, his attacks are very easy to choreograph. Whenever he goes down into like hunched form, he's going to do Mega Flare, which is this giant, flaming, burning attack of death. If you get hit by it, needless to say, your health is going to go right down. Now for the flamethrower, don't worry too much about it. It goes down just, you know, flamethrower attack's not that bad. He's also going to shoot out Will-O-Wisps, which you just basically need to fly around, or do what I'm doing right by here, and just sort of try and use the back of his head as like a shield. Which is a good way to actually take him out, because you can, when he's using a lot of his attacks, the only one that can really hurt you when you're behind the back of his head is Mega Flare, so yeah, there's that. He also has this sort of claw attack where he sort of swipes at the air, which is very difficult to dodge, but like I said, if you stay at the back of his head, you are not likely to get hurt all that much. Boss fights is, honestly, is quite an easy boss when you figure out how to do it. But seriously though, look at this thing. This is basically the game starting to really heat up. Occasionally he'll also push you back miles away, which doesn't do any damage. It's just a really minor inconvenience to you, so just be careful of that. And that's all there is to it. Now, my first run through of this boss fight though was quite devastating, I have to say, because I don't know. But as you can see there, he basically wipes out almost all your health with each attack, so if you don't have much health, good luck. Good luck. And the more damage you do to him, the more his attacks actually get more powerful, and yeah, he can be quite a big damage dealing foe to take care of. But with that, he is done and dusted. Thank God for that. Christ, that amount of fire can quite easily make someone bald. Get it? Because its song name is Night on Bald Mountain. I don't know, I digress. But anyway, one thing you notice is we are flying. Duh. And also we get Super Glide for beating that boss, which is quite a good move. But yeah, we're flying, which is quite interesting to say the least. Now, only certain areas will allow you to fly, so I don't know why only certain areas. They probably did that to stop the game from being broken. But this isn't the last of the flying we're going to see. Now, basically all we need to go straight into the giant volcano below us to progress, which is a bit annoying, but there you go. Like I said, there's not many areas in this game that allow you to fly, but it's quite sweet when you do. And you do need to make sure you're used to the flying controls, because the final boss will actually require you to be good and efficient at sort of dodging and turning and flying around, so consider Chernobog like a training boss to prepare you for the final battle. Anyway, just keep going all the way down, deeper and deeper into this volcano, and we'll be able to slowly progress on and hopefully clear the game. Seriously though, this final level is full of volcanicity, and when you reach this point now, this is literally preparation room. When you're going through these hallways, be very careful, because this is basically your last chance to equip some items for an upcoming battle, shall we say, that takes a long time to complete. So without any further ado, let's go in.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Bloody behemoth every time he hits me. I don't even know if there's a way to dodge that behemoth. But yeah, you get bloody bum rushed by a giant behemoth whenever you enter this room, so just be careful of him. Of course, this behemoth by here, he dies the exact same way as every other behemoth we've fought so far. If you've fought enough of these guys already. But this room, just be glad I did some editing with this room, because this, basically, this room can take about a good 20 to 30 minutes. This is the generic JRPG sort of final gauntlet thing they tend to throw at you to make sure you have a high enough level to take on the final boss. And trust me, this is entirely padding in its worst form. We just get tons and tons of enemies to fight, and it's just a huge gauntlet that we have to take care of, and I don't like it. Well, I do like it. I like the idea of it, but it just goes on for so long that it just becomes tedious quite quickly. I like the idea of a final gauntlet. I always have. Like, multi-phase final bosses give you that whole sense of finality, and I've always liked gauntlets to sort of test your skills before a final battle, but to the extent that this game does it, it drives me absolutely mad. Seriously, 20 to 30 minutes of nothing but wailing on enemies. It's an absolute nightmare. Now you'll see that this part is 10 minutes long. That's because I cut out all the unnecessary battling, so there's that. Of course, another thing about it is we're going to be coming up to an enemy type that I don't think we've seen yet in this playthrough, or at least I've shown off because I cut out a lot of the battles earlier. So just wait on this guy until he goes down. Come on, boop him. There we go, he's dead. That's the final behemoth of the game, by the way, folks, so I hope you loved his lovely, lovely bug, because that's the last we're going to see of him. Anyway, you see that giant crest up there. It looks oddly suspicious, doesn't it? Well, when he... As time goes on, bits of him, little chunks of it will fall apart. Now, basically you're stuck in this room fighting gauntlets of enemies until that crest entirely falls apart. For every enemy, a little piece will come off. And honestly, it takes a long time. There's a lot of waves as well. I'm not exactly sure how many waves, so just be prepared, be on your toes, and hopefully you're high enough level to deal with this without much of an issue. Now the first phase by here is actually quite easy because you got these Dark Ball enemies, and as you know by now, Dark Balls, they don't really have the highest defense. Like, a normal 3-hit combo should take them out if you're at my level right now. So there's that. And of course, Invisibles. I like the invisible enemies, but only when there's one of them. Basically, because this room is filled with all of these things, it's a bit of a cluster to take care of, because now, as you know from what I explained before, Invisibles can turn, well, invisible and become invulnerable for a set period of time. And they're a very, very big nightmare to deal with when they do this. Because it's such a large amount of them, you're going to see yourself getting whittled down. Your health's going to get pested down by tiny, tiny loads of enemies, and it's a nightmare. It's an absolute nightmare. But anyway, you also see these sort of like angel enemies. Now these guys have the highest defense out of all the enemy types in the game. I don't think I've actually seen these guys yet in the playthrough. So yeah, when you see these guys, be careful of them. They, as you can see, their health goes down quite quick, but they can block, and there's nothing that can get them out of this block as far as I'm aware. So they're more of a nuisance, and they can do a hell of a lot of damage if you don't expect, you know, if you don't know what you're doing around them. But for the most part, this is literally the final gauntlet. The next room will be the final resting place. So, hope you got your seatbelt on, boys and girls, because it's almost done with the LP. We're almost completely finished with Kingdom Hearts. Oh, it gives you that sort of angelic feeling, you know? Get it? Because they're angels, enemies. But yeah, like I said, nothing can break through their defense, not even your limit attacks, which, as you know by now, are your most powerful attacks in the game, so yay! And I don't think I'm going to be using the summon at all anymore from this point onwards, because what you'll find is later on, summons are quite useful at the start of the game, but during the end game, they become really useless. Like, they don't do much damage to any enemies at all, and like, for some reason, summons, the strength of the summons don't really scale up with the strength that you are. I don't know why. So later, like Simba right now will do tiny damage to these guys, for example. Summons are useless. The only one that's still kind of useful, I guess, is Dumbo, and that's just because you're invincible flying around shooting water at these guys. And Dumbo is still one of my favorites. I like Dumbo. He's a good summon. But yeah, like I said, this is just needless padding from the amount of time it actually takes to do this, which is unfortunate. But hey, we have now cleared this room, and we're now heading on to the finale of the game. And then you might be wondering, why are there more than 4 parts left to go? If you're looking at the playlist, well, you'll see in time, in due time. But save the game, and like I said, this is the final rest. This is the last chance to save your game and get your equipment done. So save the game before you carry on. And with that, folks, hope you all enjoyed. Don't be sheepish, people. I'll catch you all next time when we actually continue on and actually get all 99 Dalmatian puppies. It's going to be a speed montage, including puppies I've already collected, so it's going to be interesting. And we're going to be doing side quests. So like I said, thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. Don't be sheepish, people. I'll catch you all next time. Bye!